After 60, your body does not suddenly break down. It adapts, quietly, gradually. And that silence is exactly why most people miss what's happening. You don't wake up one morning feeling old. There's no dramatic warning, no sharp turning point. Instead, you stand up and feel slightly slower than you did 5 years ago. You carry groceries and your arms tire sooner. You climb stairs and your legs feel heavier than they used to. You may wake up earlier. You may feel stiffer in the morning. You may turn quickly and notice your balance isn't as steady. Nothing alarming, nothing urgent, just small shifts. But here's what many people don't realize. Small shifts, repeated daily, can quietly influence muscle strength, metabolism, coordination, sleep, and energy. Not overnight, but over years. And by the time it feels serious, it has often been developing for a long time. Aging is not the problem. Loss of awareness is. Your body is not failing. It is adjusting to changes in muscle fibers, hormones, recovery speed, and nerve signaling. When you understand these changes early, you can respond with simple habits that may help protect strength, balance, and independence. Today, we'll explore 5 common body changes that tend to happen after 60, and practical routines that research suggests can support long-term vitality. This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. If you're over 60, comment your age below: 61, 68, 72, 75. Let's see how many of us are choosing to age stronger together. One of the most noticeable body changes after 60 is gradual muscle loss. It does not happen all at once. It happens quietly, year by year. Research suggests adults naturally lose muscle mass with age, especially when muscles are not challenged regularly. This age-related decline can influence strength, stability, and overall movement quality. At first, the signs are subtle. Standing up from a low chair takes more effort. Carrying grocery bags feels heavier than it once did. Climbing stairs leaves your legs tired sooner. Opening a tight jar lid requires both hands instead of one. These moments may seem small, but muscle plays a much larger role than many people realize. Muscle supports balance. Muscle stabilizes joints. Muscle cushions and protects bones. Muscle helps the body react quickly to prevent falls. After 60, independence often matters more than raw strength, and muscle is deeply connected to independence. When muscle mass declines, the body may also lose power and reaction speed. Posture may begin to shift. Walking speed may slow. Confidence in movement can gradually decrease. Some people respond by moving less because they feel weaker. But reduced activity may accelerate muscle loss. The encouraging news is this. Research suggests resistance training may help support muscle strength at almost any age. Even individuals in their 70s and 80s can experience measurable improvements. This does not require heavy lifting. It may include controlled sit-to-stand movements from a chair, light resistance band exercises, holding small dumbbells, wall push-ups, walking on gentle inclines. Protein intake may also play a supportive role. Balanced meals that include adequate protein may help maintain muscle tissue and support recovery. The goal is not extreme intensity. The goal is consistency. Muscles respond to regular stimulation. Small strength sessions done 2 or 3 times per week may help support posture, to balance and long-term mobility. Muscle loss with age is common, but significant weakness is not inevitable. After 60, many people say the same thing. I eat the same as I always have, but I gain weight. This experience is extremely common, and it can feel confusing. One reason may be gradual muscle decline. As muscle mass decreases over time, resting calorie burn may also decrease. Muscle tissue uses more energy than fat tissue, even at rest. So when muscle becomes lower, metabolism may shift. Your body becomes more efficient, but efficiency also means fewer calories burned throughout the day. The difference may be small, but over months and years, small differences accumulate. Hormonal changes may also influence how the body stores fat. Many people notice weight gathering more around the abdomen. Clothes may fit differently. You may also feel digestion seems slower. You may feel full longer after meals. Energy may feel less steady between meals. This is not personal failure. It is not weakness. It is biology adapting to a new stage of life. Research suggests that maintaining muscle mass may help support metabolic balance. Strength training may indirectly support resting energy use by preserving lean tissue. Even moderate activity matters. Walking after meals may help support blood sugar stability. Gentle movement throughout the day may help regulate appetite signals. Nutrition also plays a role. Balanced meals that include adequate protein and fiber may help support satiety, digestion, and steady energy. Hydration supports overall metabolic processes as well. Extreme dieting, however, is rarely sustainable after 60. Very low-calorie approaches may reduce energy levels and may contribute to further muscle decline. Instead of focusing on aggressive weight loss, it may be more supportive to focus on strength, mobility, and metabolic stability. Small daily movement, balanced meals, adequate protein, consistent hydration. After 60, the goal shifts. It is no longer about rapid change. It is about steady support, not forcing the body, but working with it patiently, consistently, and realistically. Balance changes often begin so gradually that they go unnoticed. There is no sudden announcement, no dramatic moment. You may simply feel slightly unsteady when turning quickly. You may notice yourself reaching for walls or railings more often. You may hesitate for a second before stepping off a curb. Small pauses, small adjustments. Balance depends on several systems working together at the same time. The inner ear helps detect position and motion. Vision provides spatial awareness. Muscle strength supports stability. Joint flexibility allows smooth adjustments. Nerve communication speed coordinates reactions. If even one of these systems shifts slightly, overall stability may shift as well. Falls rarely begin with dramatic events. They often begin with subtle declines in reaction time, strength, or coordination. And sometimes, fear of falling leads to reduced movement. Less movement can gradually reduce strength. Reduced strength may influence balance further. This cycle can happen quietly. The encouraging news is that balance is not fixed. Research suggests balance training may help support neuromuscular coordination at many ages. Simple exercises may include standing on one foot while holding a chair for support, walking heel to toe slowly across a hallway, practicing gentle Tai Chi movements, performing slow, controlled strength exercises. Even environmental adjustments matter. Improving lighting at home may support safety. Removing loose rugs may reduce tripping risk. Wearing supportive footwear may also help reduce fall risk. Balance is trainable. Even small improvements may increase confidence, and confidence often encourages movement. Movement, in turn, supports strength and coordination. A small upward cycle can begin. Quick question for you. Which of these changes feels most noticeable right now? Muscle strength, metabolism, balance, sleep, or energy? Type just one word in the comments. Your experience may help someone else realize they are not alone. After 60, sleep often feels different. You may fall asleep earlier than you used to. You may wake earlier in the morning. Or you may wake during the night more frequently. These changes are common. Research suggests melatonin production gradually decreases with age. Deep sleep stages may become shorter. The internal body clock may shift slightly forward. Sleep influences many aspects of health. Muscle recovery depends on restorative sleep cycles. Cognitive clarity is supported by consistent rest. Emotional regulation is closely connected to sleep quality. Daily energy levels are influenced by how deeply you sleep. When sleep becomes lighter or more fragmented, recovery may feel slower. You may wake feeling less refreshed than you once did. You may feel a dip in energy during the afternoon. This does not mean something is wrong. It often reflects normal biological adjustment. Supporting sleep hygiene may help support better rest. Helpful habits may include morning sunlight exposure to help regulate circadian rhythm, keeping consistent bedtimes and wake times, even on weekends, limiting bright screens in the evening, keeping the bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, avoiding heavy meals close to bedtime. Gentle stretching, slow breathing, or reading may support relaxation before sleep. Reducing stimulating activities late at night may also help. Sleep after 60 may not feel the same as it did at 30. The structure may change. The rhythm may shift. But structured routines may help support quality rest. And better rest may support stronger muscles, clearer thinking, steadier mood, and more stable energy. Many adults over 60 describe a change in overall energy. Not exhaustion, not sudden fatigue, just lower baseline vitality than they remember. But the pattern often looks like this. Energy feels lower. Activity decreases. Muscle strength gradually declines. Energy drops further. This cycle can quietly reduce vitality over time. When movement becomes less frequent, circulation may slow. Muscles receive less stimulation. Endurance may gradually decrease. Research suggests that light daily movement may help support circulation and oxygen delivery throughout the body. Even short walks may gently stimulate energy systems. A few minutes of stretching may increase blood flow. Hydration may also play a supportive role. Mild dehydration can influence mental clarity and physical stamina. Drinking water consistently throughout the day may help maintain steadier energy. Social interaction matters as well. Conversation, laughter, and connection may support emotional vitality. Emotional engagement often influences physical energy more than people expect. Energy does not simply disappear, it adapts. After 60, pacing often becomes more important than pushing. Long, intense effort may feel draining, but short activity sessions followed by rest may support endurance more effectively. Gentle consistency may work better than occasional bursts of intensity. A little movement each day may feel more sustainable than overexertion once a week. Energy is influenced by sleep quality, muscle strength, daily movement, hydration, and emotional engagement. These systems are connected. Supporting one area may positively influence the others. Small adjustments, steady rhythm, consistent habits. Over time, that pattern may help protect vitality and support a more stable sense of energy. After 60, your body is not failing, it is adapting. Muscle shifts, metabolic adjustments, balance recalibrates, sleep patterns change, energy moves differently than it once did. These are biological transitions. They are not signs of decline. They are signals asking for awareness. Ignoring these shifts may gradually reduce strength, stability, and independence. Understanding them may help you respond earlier, while small changes are still small. Because small daily habits, repeated consistently, may help support strength and vitality over time. A few strength sessions each week, gentle daily movement, balanced meals with adequate protein, intentional sleep routines, steady hydration, nothing extreme, nothing unrealistic, just consistent support. If staying strong and independent after 60 truly matters to you, this channel is built for you. Each week, we explore research-based habits that may help support muscle, metabolism, balance, sleep, and long-term vitality, explained clearly and calmly. If you found value here, consider subscribing and share this video with someone over 60 who may benefit from this reminder. Because aging well is not something we have to navigate alone. This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Healthy aging is not about fighting time. It is about responding wisely to change. And the earlier you respond, the more strength, confidence, and independence you may be able to preserve for years to come.